welcome everybody. It's Cannabis News. I'm your host, Joe Klare. It's September 17th, 2019. The show, as always, is presented by the Marijuana Times. Find us at marijuanatimes.org. Click the video tab there to find this show. Also, a bunch of social media links and a lot of great articles by a lot of great writers. Check it out, marijuanatimes.org. Or just search Marijuana Times on whatever search engine you prefer, Google or Yahoo or Bing. For those of you still using Netscape or the old AOL, the old trusty AOL search engine, have at it. We should pop up on all of them, I'm sure. At least I hope. Maybe put us in AOL. Maybe something else comes up. I don't know. I haven't checked, to be quite honest. Today, we're talking about hemp production in the United States, also blingy vaporizers and gold rolling papers. No, that is not a new rap duo. It is also not a new radio morning show. It is a story we're talking about coming up, and also Ohio medical marijuana patients are not exactly thrilled with the Ohio medical marijuana program for various reasons. We'll talk about all that coming up. But first, of course, Cannabis News is brought to you by Natureside, nature-side.com, and their organic, all-natural pesticides. Grow safe and poison-free with Natureside. Don't use harmful chemicals on what you are growing, whether it's cannabis or something else. Don't put icky stuff on plants that people are going to be ingesting. That would be awful of you. Don't do that. If you need another reason besides me telling you, well, I'm sure you can look in your heart and find one. In any case, you're going to be regulatory compliant in the state that you're growing in. If you're looking for organic, all-natural pesticides, go no further than Natureside. Nature-side.com. Thank you, Natureside. You're awesome. This first story is by Jason Sander at marijuanatimes.org. Hemp production quadruples since last year. Hemp cultivation has reportedly quadrupled over the course of the last year, and there will be an estimated 115,000 to 138,000 acres of hemp harvested by the end of 2019. According to Vote Hemp's 2019 license report, an estimated total of 230,000 acres of hemp will be planted this year. Incredible numbers. Of course, you don't have much to compare it to, but what we used to grow in the United States of hemp was somewhere around 0 acres. So it's definitely, it's always been the weird thing about people who are against marijuana legalization, that are against recreational legalization, even the weirdos that are against medical marijuana, and they're really, the real control freaks, the real, nasty people. There's always been this little contingent of people that were against hemp. They want us to grow hemp. We can import hemp and hemp products from other countries, but we couldn't grow it here. It was a big deal, I guess, that we would grow hemp and make some jeans or a house or a plastic container or food. It was a thing that we didn't do for a very long time. And all of a sudden, we were suddenly like, oh, well, we should do? We should grow some hemp. And here we are. It's amazing. Yes, this is one of those times I wish we had applause sound effects, or any sound effects at all, for that matter. It would have been well here, gone well here, fit well here, whatever. In total, 511,000 acres of hemp have been licensed in the U.S., and almost 17,000 growers currently hold licenses. The acreage has increased 4 times since last year. Of course, in 2018, hemp was legalized at the federal level, thanks to the passing of the 2018 Farm Bill, of course. Following that, 13 states have enacted legislation for hemp programs and removed restrictions on the crop. Only 4 states remain without hemp programs: Idaho, South Dakota, Mississippi, and New Hampshire. Of course, the governor of South Dakota has been in the news quite a bit with her vehement opposition to growing hemp. I don't know. It's so bizarre. And I get the argument. Oh, it looks similar to marijuana. It's causing problems with law enforcement and prosecutors. Oh, cry me a river. Let me get out my little violin. That some people who have marijuana on them aren't being prosecuted. That's our whole thing here. That's the basis of the whole thing. These people who are not criminals are not being prosecuted and not being charged. The whole thing. So don't come to us crying about, well, hemp's legalized now, so the poor cops, they need $58,000 million to buy roadside testing equipment because, God forbid, somebody has a little plant matter on them. They're not harming anybody. You just send them on their way. You got to get them in the system. You got to, fingerprint them and get the mug shot and prosecute them and get them to court, or you get them a citation or whatever it is you do in your various jurisdictions. But the notion that is some kind of problem is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I see the people arguing, say, "Oh well, it's so bad we can't prosecute these marijuana cases because hemp's legalized now." Oh no. Oh no. That's terrible for you. I know what you could do. You could go and worry about your unsolved cases, for instance. We've talked a lot about backlogged rape kits, like in the state of Texas. Maybe, it's like the 5th time I've said this on the show. It's incredible. Maybe some funds should be devoted, instead of worrying about whether something has enough as 0.3% THC in a traffic stop, maybe should devote some resources to testing the backlogged rape kits. I'm flabbergasted by this. I've been flabbergasted since I saw in the article about the problems Texas was having. I said, well, there's going to be money for backlog rape kits, but where's the money for the marijuana testing? Well, get that done first. The rape thing. The rape, that's important. The marijuana in someone's pocket is not important. I am amazed that there are people in this world that don't get that notion. That in terms of crime, one is an awful, horrific crime, and one is not a crime at all. If you need me to explain which one is which, stop listening to the show, stop watching, go away. Go watch stupid cat videos on YouTube, or go listen to another podcast. You're a moron. This is to pretend there's some kind of equation here, and that we should be worried that marijuana's not being tested when there's backlogged rape kits. That's crazy. And it's not just that. What about violent crimes that are unsolved? Would more resources help that? Maybe. But no. Let's test weed. Let's test weed. Let's make sure cops can test weed on the road, because that's so important. That's so important. I know. If we had a sarcasm meter, it would have been off the charts on that one. How's the story about hemp production turn into that? I don't know. That's the wondrousness of this show. But it's enough. It's enough. Shut up. Oh, can't legalize hemp because they can't test it. Shut up, dummy. This next story is from TheGuardian.com. Blingy vaporizers and gold rolling papers. Luxury cannabis brands court the affluent. Despite being expensive and sometimes rare, cannabis isn't typically considered a luxury good. It's too closely associated with slovenly, underperforming young men to convey wealth or style. That's harsh. It's true with among certain sets of people that they see us that way, but it's harsh nonetheless. But as cannabis becomes more acceptable and the consumer base grows to include more women and affluent professionals, some companies are aiming to become prestige brands. Now, some people have a problem with this. The author of this article, Alex Halpern, really doesn't seem to have one. He just kind of, it's a very interesting article when you get into the different brands and the different things that are being made. It's really quite incredible. I would recommend clicking the link in the description of this video. But there are some people who have a problem with this. I say, look, if you can get someone to buy rolling papers for $10 because they're gold, or they're edible gold, more power to you. And if you want to smoke out of those, if you have some disposable income, you want to smoke out of a gold rolling paper that costs $10, fine. Whatever, man. That's the whole point of all of this. It's the whole point of legalization. You can do whatever you want as long as you're not harming anybody. That's it. If you shouldn't, well, budget your money better. It's not my problem, is it? Maybe you shouldn't bet on football either, but you do. So what am I going to do about it? Am I your mom? Grow up. You can make these decisions for yourself. Anyway, like I said, there's a huge list of these different brands, the places you can go, all that stuff. We'll start right here. Just as several cannabis companies have tilted at luxury, a handful of celebrated luxury brands have waved back. The plush department store Barney's has opened a head shop called The High End at its Beverly Hills location and online. It sells accessories like a sterling silver mini Bic lighter case by Good Art Hollywood, that's an abbreviation of Hollywood, for $625. Now, is buying a $625 lighter case crazy? Yeah, most people would say it is. I wouldn't do it. But if you have $625 that you can afford on a sterling silver mini Bic lighter case, have at it, man. That's awesome. And a set of 10 pre-rolled paper cones for joints from the French paper house Divambé. I think I kind of got that. I think I nailed that pronunciation, which traces its roots to 1826 for $78. So it's $7.80 per cone. Again, if that's your thing, go ahead. Put it up on the gram, whatever. Snapchat if that's what you do. Put it on Facebook if you're still on there for some reason. I don't know. The high end also sells a selection of CBD lotions and cannabis scents. Several perfumers have embraced an aroma widely considered to be as alluring as a suburban basement. Oh, another crack, the stoner stereotypes. Look, I can laugh at these things. Obviously, they're stereotypes for a reason. It's funny. Cheech and Chong put the whole career on it. It's fine. Calm down. The Detmer Fragrance Library describes its cannabis flower fragrance as slightly floral, slightly spicy, a deep and penetrating beauty, inspired by Bob Marley and, quote, a misspent youth. But they really know their target audience, don't they? The cannabis jewelry line Jennifer M., which styles pieces shaped like cannabis leaves, recently made its New York Fashion Week debut at a show put on by designer Corto Mamalou, who's best known from Project Runway. I know a lot of these things I'm saying, I have no idea what they are, but I'm sure a lot of you do know what they are, and they're impressive, and that's fantastic. There's also a market of unknown size for what might be called Canna Bling. The vaporizer company Double Barrel sells a $100,000 model encrusted in diamonds and white gold in a camouflage pattern. A company called Shine produces rolling papers made from hemp and the finest edible gold for the relative bargain of $10 per sheet. Impressive stuff. Hey, look, one day I would hope to be one of these people that can say, hey, a cone for $7.80? Sure. Hook me up, bro. But see, when I'm rich, I'll be saying things like bro, ironically. My other rich friends will get it, and then we'll all laugh. We'll laugh and rich laugh. Like, you said bro. Kind of like that. You know, the real fake ha 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 laugh. You know, I will have my rich friends after I forgot about the rest of you. It'll be glorious and fantastic all at the same time. This last story from dispatch.com as we get back to more serious matters. Ohio medical marijuana too pricey, inconvenient, say users in a new survey. Ohio's medical marijuana card holders find medical cannabis pricey and inconvenient to obtain, according to a survey conducted by Ohio State University's Drug Enforcement Policy Center and the nonprofit advocacy group Harm Reduction Ohio. Patients said cost is the largest barrier to buying medical marijuana, followed by the distance to the nearest dispensary. According to the survey, after that comes the difficulty obtaining the doctor's recommendation necessary to acquire a medical marijuana card. Nearly half of the 640 patients who responded to the survey, which is posted on social media accounts frequented by medical marijuana users, said they were nearly half of them said they were very dissatisfied with the program, and less than 4% said that they were very satisfied. I bet those 4% were clustered around dispensaries. Ohio has roughly 52,000 marijuana card holders. Though unscientific, the survey released this month represents one of the first attempts to gauge patients' thoughts on the state's medicinal cannabis program. Researchers worry that barriers will discourage the very people the program was intended to work for, those who previously brought the drug illegally. The Drug Enforcement Policy Center Director Doug Berman said, quote, the illicit market is available 24 hours a day. You don't have to worry about whether there is going to be a line. The dealer has a way of becoming convenient. Well, ain't that the truth? Of course, again, we're coming up almost 500 episodes of this show, and I feel sometimes that I repeat myself a lot, but I also realize that this show, not everybody's watching every episode. They watch a couple episodes. They haven't watched in a couple months. They come back and check out an episode, things of that nature. There's a lot of people like that. So, in any case, I continue to hammer home these points. The restrictions on marijuana are going to keep people in the illegal market. I'm not going to get my high horse about Issue 3 in 2015. I was one of the few people publicly saying that they should have been voted for. Things have been much better now in Ohio than they are currently with this limited medical marijuana program and the problems that apparently it's having. It's not me saying that. It's patients in Ohio saying that things could have been different. And I was hammered online, but whatever. The people who are suffering is not me. I'm not suffering. People who are suffering is medical marijuana patients in Ohio who would have had ease of access to marijuana as we speak. if issue 3 would have passed, but they do not as things currently stand. And that's a shame. But the way to solve the black market problem, if you feel it's a problem, you feel it's such a great problem, is to undercut it economically with legal marijuana. How you get there? Low taxes, low regulations, low barriers to entry, increase supply, allow supply to increase in a natural manner, as opposed to an artificial manner. Oh, we're going to have 2 dispensaries in this geographic location. We're going to have 3 here. We're only giving out this many cultivation licenses, so on and so forth. If it was allowed to flourish in a more market-based way, supply would come online quicker, and the prices would come down. A lot of the things people are complaining about, they wouldn't be complaining about. And I know, I've said that a ton, but I'm going to keep saying it. You undercut the black market with legal marijuana, and you do it economically. You can't prohibit marijuana, but if an illegal dealer is not going to make money on it, they're going to leave. They're not going to do that anymore. Not because someone told them to, because they can see it. Nobody's buying my weed anymore. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to do something else. Anyway, I hope I never have to do anything else. As I said, I'm doing almost 500 episodes. Hopefully there will be many more. Many, many more. Even I have to repeat myself over and over and over again until I'm a very, very old man. For those of you playing a comment that I really look like an old man, you also go away. Stop watching. You're suspended for a week from watching this show. You can come back in 1 week. We're here 5 days a week on Cannabis News. Find us at marijuanatimes.org. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts for the audio version. YouTube, of course, for the videos. Thank you to Nature Side, nature-side.com, and their organic, all-natural pesticides. Thank you to all of you for watching and listening today, for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. We'll see you next time, right here on Cannabis News.